Hello, this is John with the Orginio app, and I just wanted to highlight a few features with you, new features, if you will. So recently we have updated the new UI, so the new user interface, rounded boxes, if you will, so a little bit more elegant. Our search pane, we now have the ability to show objects lists, so you can do a search, show the object list. We can also show the hierarchy tree, and as you break out the hierarchy tree, you can also see either the head count or span of control within that view. And then we also have the object details. If I have to click on a box here, you'll see the object details. Of course, we can restrict or decide what information is displayed within the boxes. And if we like, we can show all three in the same view. So really quite easy of use to navigate to what you're looking for. You can do a search, say, find John. There's two Johns. Well, there's me. So if I go to my record, let's say I want to turn off some of these other views. I turn off the views and I go right to John. Here we go, and here's the information. And for instance here, I've got some social media links. So if I click on these, it'll launch directly into the social media apps. Maybe some fun facts. These are things you can add via a CSV file or manually enter in. It's just some information. We also have the ability to link into URLs. So if you have job descriptions that you want to reference or anything, points like that. And then really up to you is what you want to see contained within the object view. So maybe some performance or some highlights with key performer, salary, skill sets. We also have the ability to have some rules and display rules. So, for instance, so I'm looking at this team. Let me turn off my view, if you will, and let me dismiss everyone, let's say above Sienna here. So let's just go here to Sienna, and let's see some successors. And right now we have some display rules, or which are conditional formatting. So I can do highlights outside the box. So in this case, I can show who has the successors. I can turn that off. Maybe I go to performance rating. Oh, look there. I'm a top performer, if you will. Color coding, maybe red is a underperforming, green top performer. You set up the display rules. The important thing is you can turn these on and off as needed, if you will, as the editors. So I can just simply turn on different information within the display option. So let me cancel out of here. Also go into back to our ability here to switch viewing modes instantly within the application. You had before, I had to go into the settings and go through that process. But right here, we can just change the different views. So in the view, if you will, let's navigate back down here to my box. You'll see that information that was in the object list. It's all contained here. And again, you can control with our field level security what information is visible within the boxes, but certainly not restricted to just the basic contact detail. But if you wanted basic contact details, certainly that could be highlighted in that position here. And I can still, within the application, switch back into the edit mode, and it makes it a little easier. And I can say, let's drag and drop. I'm going to move John here. I'm going to move myself over to Thomas's team. If I don't like that, I can certainly just move it back here. So you can do some modeling aspects, which is really nice. Switching gears a little bit, we changed the interface around on the settings side of things. So the data import, certainly we can bring in a CSV Excel file or an API if we're connected into the various app centers and technologies there. Right here are settings. So we click into the settings. All the basic information is done here. We don't have to do the drawing editing. This is not a Visio or a PowerPoint drawing tool. This is an automated organizational charting application. 100% cloud-based HTML5 on the AWS server, and we support the single sign-on, various single sign-on providers here. In the data settings, we can certainly download the data. We can delete the data. We can restore the data. We have the ability to display the person hierarchy, position hierarchy, or org units. We're very flexible on that side of things. Any data that you have in here, you can certainly download and export out as a data file. Important note here, your data is your data. We do not have access to your data. We can see that an account is spun up, but you don't have to email us and say, hey, delete my account and delete all my data, and we have to respond within 30 days. Absolutely, you have the ability to delete the data as well. Visualizations, I'm just going to quickly highlight this. So we have the ability to set up the different modes, if you will, from the compact for ease of navigation. to the person details in here, display rules. So we can create some rules to colorize, so conditional formatting, if you will, to hide boxes. So let me just say, that if the status contains inactive or equals, you set up these parameters and we can show different transparencies. Just an example, and if I hit preview, you can see the action that's there. I close the preview, so it's very easy to navigate these rules that you can create. So let me cancel out of here. Certainly, you can highlight the different boxes or icons outside the box to highlight information. Certainly easy to do as well, and we can certainly preview. You can see the different colors in here that represent different items. So in that, we have some great color schemes, but certainly you're welcome to have your own corporate colors as well as your own logo to include, as long as it's a JPEG or a PNG file. The user management, this is where it comes into the editors. We come with 3 editors by default. You can certainly add an additional editor. It's just $5 per editor per month. So if you need a total of 5, that would just be an extra $10 fee per month. We can set up different users and give them different rights to maintain the users, to maintain the data, or to maintain the actual company account. And I can just click here and add users. If you have it within your system, great. If not, you can just select an email address, type it in, select their permission level, and when you create an email sent out from Orginio inviting that user to join that account with that permission settings, if you will. User groups, so if you want to set up user groups, certainly quite easy to set up a group. That way you don't have to select individuals, you just select the HR team or managers. Applications, so we can set up an intranet, so you can have a corporate directory. You generate a key, that key can be embedded into a URL or an iframe, if you will, can be embedded, and it says up to date as the latest refresh of your org chart. So set it and forget, and you can certainly share the application with other users as well with the access key. The access control is great to provide some information. So birthday is great. It's great to show the month and the day because employee engagement. But let's say it includes a year and you don't want to show that. So in here I can set up here and say access control. Let's turn this on. Does everyone have access? No, not everyone has access. You can control these. And you can say, okay, the admin, the user group, if you will, has the ability to view, search, edit. And then you can also set an individual permission, if you will. And this is something you do on each of the fields. So again, here's the fun facts. You can certainly just add your own fields if you want to. Doesn't have to come from data, but the more you can bring in from data, the better it is, the more automated the process is. Then the analytics for us is a one-time operation. You click that, that's our headcount, span of control, if you will, and depth of structure. The payment information, we have different information. We're a month-to-month subscription, so no long-term annual contract. You pay as you go, and you can actually see how many how many objects or records or how many boxes you're using within that 30-day period, and the number of users. So we come with 3 users. So if you need to see, you want more users, you can add them, and you can see kind of where things are at. You pick the start and end date. And the feature set, we have some different feature sets. If I click over here to our Orginio main page, I click on prices. And then we show some different features and such, and you can say, for instance, my organization is 550 and I'm using the See Perfect. You're talking it's $127 per month. And that again is a month-to-month opportunity there. So you can cancel at any time. We hope you continue on. So that's the basic on the feature set here. Within here, if I create a view that I like, I can certainly just create a PDF or an image file. Typically it's a transparent PNG, so it overlays quite nice on the PowerPoint slides. I can do a quick share if I want to share with a colleague. Again, the user rights maintained, so if I share this with a colleague who's also a user, then any permissions that I have, if they don't have that, he or she will see the main information but not the restricted fields. So I just copy this and drop it into an email, if you will. So let me close this. And certainly we can zoom in and out within the application, if you will. If I scroll back up, I can certainly navigate the structure as many depths and many levels as I'd like. But let's say I want to talk about the ability to do dotted line reporting. That's a question that comes up quite often. As long as the both boxes are in view, you'll see this dotted line stretch over, and you'll see it connect to a person. As soon as I zoom in and both objects are not in view, we just don't want dotted lines going across the page. It makes sense here. And you can have different dotted lines and different, we'll call relations. So for dotted line, coaching, mentoring, succession, if I click on a box, for instance, you can see the information. You have the ability to set the information here. This is key. You'll see the direct reports, if you will, and then the substitute or secondary managers. This is all the stuff you do. Successors here, I can just put in a drop down. Once I put it in once, it remembers, and it's quite easy just to add additional information. So in this case, maybe I say successor is identified. I can certainly add different information. Let's say I want to remove this person. It's smart enough to know, hey, there's people connected to this position here, this box structure. You want to delete the person or the person, all the details. So again, just some information here. Let me cancel out of this here. This is Orginio. Simple, elegant, and it works. Feel free to take a look at orginio.com or check out the Orginio YouTube page for additional information. Thanks again.